Hey everyone, this is Aaron Fink from Grapple City Rewind. If you like what you hear on this episode, give us a follow or leave us a review on whatever platform you listen. It'll go a long way in helping us to be discovered by more wrestling fans like you. All right, cue the music.
Hello and welcome to Grapple City Rewind, taking you and everyone else all the way back to the iconic pay-per-views and television specials that shaped professional wrestling history. I am Bradley Palermo, here as always with Aaron Fink, but he has a mustache unlike most days. Looking good, my man.
Thank you.
Today we are here to talk about WrestleMania 12 because it is WrestleMania season, and we have been doing a little series here covering WrestleMania episodes of the past. Today we'll be getting into an Iron Man match, an OJ-style car chase, a lingerie striptease, a zipline entrance, 2,220 pounds of humanity in one single match, 0 falls in 60 minutes, and an all-time controversial, authoritative decision by Gorilla Monsoon himself. We got demons, we got dreams, and we got Vince McMahon talking about loneliness. But first, let's do a little current product. It's WrestleMania season. We're doing a build-up to WrestleMania. The WWE is building it up. They're announcing matches. How are you feeling about the build?
As a whole, I'm a little underwhelmed, but there are a few matches, I guess 2 in particular, that I'm interested in. First one would be Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes, and it's mostly just because of what Randy's getting to do, you know, being old Randy Orton, crazy Randy Orton. When I say old, I mean like 2009 Randy Orton or something.
Like
yeah, he's
Randy,
just being a nut job, which is great. And you know, I don't know if he's getting a reaction. The crowd is into it. I don't know if that's what they want, like if they want people to be cheering him, but I also don't know that they really care. You know, like he's getting a reaction, but Cody is getting the shit kicked out of him.
I love when WWE is not getting like heel or babyface reactions as they want. I think that they don't probably mind it that much, but I loved when we as fans have a say and we can kind of revolt. Like everyone loves Randy and they love to watch him go crazy. And they're trying to make him break bad, and everyone's just like, Randy, Randy. And I'm like, I fucking love it. I love Randy Orton. I love that my friends, my fellow St. Louis wrestling fans out there who grew up, also, we didn't know him, but in the same general vicinity as Randy, are finally like seeing him maybe again in the, maybe going to hold some gold again. And I think that, it'd be cool to see Cody go heel, but I also love that it's all fucked up because no one's buying into this whole like Randy as a heel. Like he can do as much dirty shit as he wants, and we love this guy. And like you're not gonna fucking make Matt Cardona the fucking like mid Carter. I love Matt Cardona,
me too.
But like the mid Carter from 7 years ago, come back and be like the babyface guy against Randy.
He was fodder for Randy to just like beat somebody up. I mean,
yeah, but we're supposed to be mad about it, but like we don't really.
I don't think so. I don't know. I think it's more to just show that Randy is the Viper again. He's hearing voices. So like, who do you think's the one that he's talking to on the phone? I kind of starting to feel like maybe it's no one. He's just talking to himself.
Right. I don't know. It's probably like they're gonna. I mean, it's so Triple H, right, to bring in the surprise. What's in the box? Like,
sure,
whatever.
Like it could be Flair or something from the Evolution days. Yeah.
I was thinking Ric Flair is kind of in my mind. The Rock doesn't seem too cooperative, but like it could be him.
No, that's yeah. I keep getting my hopes up that like things that could be tied back to Rock are gonna be Rock, but I just don't see it. Which is a bummer too, because every time I watch something, a clip from the build up to 40, WrestleMania 40, it was just like, man, he made it so much better. Like it was easy to hate him. He was really good at being corporate snobby Rock. So
Right. Could it not make up for the fact that Rock kind of disappeared after that and he could like kind of continue the story? There's Cody involved.
it totally would.
Yeah, like we could go there. I mean, I think he did get an absurd amount of millions of dollars to be on the board. I assume he still is on the board. I don't know how this all works, but like Rock is in there somewhere. He's had several years off TV with WWE, a couple years, and so maybe we could get something, but I don't know. I still go around the house singing, I hear voices in my head. They talk to me. My name is Brad. They talk to me. So,
Yeah, so that's a good match coming up, and another one that I've been enjoying the build to, even though I'm not really sure what they're going to do with it this coming week, is Oba and Brock Lesnar, Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar. It happened, I think, when we were recording our last episode, but
right.
his first interaction with Brock Lesnar was amazing, and like the crowd's reaction was amazing. Michael Cole was like, "Holy shit!" It was great. Like
Michael Cole pops for anything, but it's still
yeah,
fun.
but
Yeah.
no, it was so good, and like all those clips going around where you could see Brock telling Oba like step on me, or whatever he said to him, like so perfect, so great.
Yeah, I have a lot of faith in Oba. I love that these like name and likeness contracts are paying off because so a lot of them you hear that they like do one for a college guy and you don't know what ever happened to it. Like you never hear much, but like
Yeah.
Oba is like this big ass motherfucker. He's tall and big and strong
Charismatic.
and he was a college shot put dude. And like, how do you go pro on that? Well, you go to the WWE and like, I don't know. I love Oba and I love that he's kind of going to be like the baby face hero in this. And
yeah, it's going great. I assume he needs, I think he needs to win against Brock, and I think he should win. It just makes sense. And then, how exactly that's going to happen, I don't know. Curious about like if he's gonna beat the shit out of Brock in like less than 5 minutes. That would be pretty cool. Or if it's gonna actually be like a 10-minute match or something. We'll have to wait and see.
I love the strut that Oba does, whatever that is. I haven't seen in wrestling before, and I don't know. He's
got an entrance, man. Dude, all you need is a fucking entrance where people can participate and chant and stuff.
Yeah,
it's
you
like
see
50%.
The little kids doing the arm movements that he does, and then you see. But I mean, the backlit, foggy entrance, and the camera goes down low, and you just see his like, shadowy figure, like looking even big. It doesn't even need to be exaggerated, but it is, and it's just like,
yeah,
it's
a good entrance.
I love like the future of WWE with Trick Willie and Oba, and it's just very exciting. But I do have a question for you, Aaron. If I guess it's kind of arbitrary because they're both main events, but like, what's the real main event? Is Roman and Punk keeping up with like Cody, Randy? Like, do you feel like?
I think so.
I assume Roman and Punk is like
night 2. Yeah.
Night 2, like the thing, right?
I guess. I don't know. I mean, they're intentionally not telling us because they're probably waiting to see, what it's like how much momentum is behind which match, and they're going to wait as long as they possibly can. But if I had to guess, I would assume it's Punk Roman is night 2 and Randy and Cody is night 1. And it's interesting because, you think normally the WWE championship is the most important championship or whatever.
Right.
So maybe that would be night 2. But Punk and Roman are, only slightly bigger names than Cody and Randy. It could be either, honestly.
Yeah, it's a half in one, 6 dozen in the other. But
Since I'm going on Saturday, I wish that Roman and Punk was on Saturday, but I just have a feeling it's not going to be, and that's fine because I'll be happy with seeing Cody and Randy too.
You never know. Like sometimes they surprise you, and sometimes the night 2 can be really big and like also be really disappointing. But with this WrestleMania, I feel like there is not a lot of disappoint. Like the outcome doesn't matter to me as much as the matches on this one. There's not like someone that's trying to like quote unquote finish their story. Which,
Yeah, there's nobody that you feel like needs to win, but
no,
and in a way that's good because it kind of means that we don't know who's going to win. You know, like I don't know who's going to win between Punk and Roman. It could easily be either of them. And same with Randy and Cody.
yeah,
So
go either way. I think Cody, like it's. I think WWE compared to what they put on for us in the last few years, like they have a lot of promising like new cats, but it's a little bit like it's hard to follow up the bloodline right now. Like we're I don't want to say stale, but we're not in the best like
it's safe.
Yeah, we're not like in a momentous like is that a word? Momentum?
Yeah, momentous. Yeah,
we're not like in a great momentous like moment. And so we need to like we want to see the stars, but we need to like get somewhere. And it's hard to compete with Bloodline. That was like the best shit. And like the Cody thing, I mean, that's the only when Cody finally won, it was the only time I ever cried at pro wrestling, and it was just like it's not just gonna happen like that again. And I don't think that means it's bad, but like I think Cody needs to go heel. I think Randy probably needs to win 15. I think Punk, I love him to death, and to me he's a hero, but I think about like the kids that are watching. They probably see like a very old man who doesn't try to even color his beard or like put on eye cream, and like to me that's like Punk can't carry, like you need to put it back on Roman. You know, you need to like kind of reset. Roman's the guy that worked. Who's gonna get it back from him? You know, no shade on Punk, but he doesn't look like the long-term hero. He's not gonna carry it for thousands of days like Roman did or whatever. So I'm curious where this all goes and kind of excited about it.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, WrestleMania 12. This was March 31st of the year 1996. The location... Thank you, Rick. The location was The Pond, now known as the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. 18,852 fans in attendance. Oh my God! You're having fun with the soundboard today. Jerry Lawler and Vince McMahon on commentary. Interesting pairing. Obviously pretty normal for this time period. A lot of what a maneuver from Vince McMahon. That's his favorite word when he's on commentary.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He's a maneuverer.
So the setup for this WrestleMania is an Iron Man match between Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. As you said, we got a little video before the event starts, hyping up that feud. It's going to be a fun one. I remember this WrestleMania. I've watched it from, when I was younger, not live, but this was definitely one of those rentals at Blockbuster because I was a big Shawn Michaels fan, big Bret Hart fan.
Along with Super Tape 1, Super Tape 2, Super Tape 4. You remember those?
No, wait, what are those?
I don't know. My video store had all the super tapes, and they're like, it's just house show videos of random like stars and like people talking about in between. They were all on the WWE network and Peacock, but like now that I'm kind of sad because I like to watch about my, nostalgic for my childhood, but they're gone now. Netflix has just the major stuff.
Yeah. Well, I had something like that when I was a kid. It was like, it wasn't a Bash at the Beach, but it was some sort of like beach themed cover art on the VHS thing. And it was Hogan and Savage and some other people. And it was exactly that. It was like house shows and some promos in between and stuff. I wish I I probably got rid of it, but
And then like the segue, or when they cut to whatever wrestler was hosting it, he's like in beach stuff, like kind of
yeah,
and doing a
exactly.
theme, even though it's just a fucking dude in
With the
January.
green screen or whatever.
Yeah.
So anyway, first match of WrestleMania 12 was a 6-man tag. It was Vader with Jim Cornette and Owen Hart and the British Bulldog against Yokozuna, Ahmed Johnson, and Jake the Snake Roberts. Surprisingly, Yokozuna's team were the baby faces. The stipulation, or I guess what they were wrestling for, was that if Yokozuna's team wins, he gets 5 minutes in the ring alone with Jim Cornette.
So how could Jim Cornette not end up in the ring and get his ass beat down by Yokozuna? How could Yokozuna's team not win? I thought this was in the bag.
Yeah, you know, usually when you have something like that, or at least with things that we've watched, like what was that one that we watched that was in the 80s where like literally everyone was bleeding every single match? That had the
Yeah.
same stipulation too with JJ Dillon, I think, right? Where it was like,
Right. And you're like, you know you're getting it.
yeah, they're gonna get got.
Like 100%. But maybe not tonight.
Yeah. So anyway, so there was a lot of star power in the match. I don't know if I would say it was a terrific match necessarily, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. I thought that it was entertaining. The crowd did get invested after a few minutes. Like, yeah, it was fun. Did you like it?
Yeah. So I weighed this match. I typed in everyone's age and
The participants.
weight at the time. So almost this match, including Jim Cornette and not the referee, but everyone else included and Jim Cornette, was 2,220 pounds total, which is the equivalent of a Honda Civic, which is a metric ton. So there's a metric fucking ton. There's a car in the ring. I mean, weight wise, like these guys are fucking huge. There's a lot of big dudes. Like you're talking about, like Vader is huge, obviously.
Yeah.
Owen Hart is bigger than your average man. He's a wrestler. Davey Boy, of course, too. Then you have Yokozuna. He is like, and like he's about to be so huge that the WWE lets him go.
Yeah, he's already
so he
over
is like
500 pounds.
Yeah, this is like Yokozuna getting to his like end point. Ahmed Johnson, big fucking strapping young man. Jake Roberts
Also tall.
has been gone from the WWE. Yes. And Jake Roberts is a big tall guy. Like, I mean, I know he's not like ripped like the like Ahmed or whatever, but
no, but they're all like, yeah, they're all big. Owen was probably the smallest guy, and Owen's still probably 6 feet tall.
yeah, Owen's no joke, man. But like Jake Roberts this late in WWE, like butting up against like Attitude Era guys like Stone Cold Steve Austin and stuff, who are just coming in, who we'll see later in the mid card. Exciting for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a real fusion of like old and new.
New generation going into Attitude Era. But I think Owen was like my most fun wrestler in this match. Like his top rope drop kicks and shit like that were fire. Like that was awesome. And and of course, like you said, like what a maneuver type shit. Owen goes off the top rope. Vince, devastating maneuver, all that stuff. But but yeah, I mean, Yokozuna. I love Yokozuna. He was a big deal heel when I was a child, and he would only live about 4 years after this. Bulldog would only live about 6 years after this. So there's kind of a grim hindsight, but also an excitement for me to see these people at the end of their life, where they're going up against like the most exciting point of WWE history, which was, of course, the Attitude Era, which isn't happening yet, but we're seeing that fusion. And yeah, it's not a great match, but I'm just into who it is and who these people mean, what these people mean to me. But your finish is Vader hitting a Vader bomb on Jake the Snake, a pinfall, and so Yoko doesn't even get Jim Cornette, which is fucking bullshit. Like I want to see Yokozuna against Jim Cornette still. I don't think that ever happened.
Yeah, it would have been good, but hey, they gotta fool us every once in a while, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I do appreciate the unpredictability of the match. Meltzer rating is a 2.2.5 stars, which That's fair. I mean, we're rating this on the match, not on hindsight star power. So I'll
Sure.
agree with Dave on that one. And then we go into a segment where Piper and Goldust are setting up the shit they're going to get down with in a minute here. Roddy Piper was the acting president of the WWF at this point, and
Yeah.
somehow he decided to feud with Goldust, and so they're going to do a backlot brawl. Now, Roddy Piper was in what was it? They Live? Yeah,
Yeah.
so he's a kind of a Hollywood guy, nothing on the level of Cena or The Rock later, but and so I guess that makes sense why he would be on the back lot. But he's of course Goldust and all of his kind of overweight singlet, sparkly sexual movements, gestures, gyrations. It's funny and
He's got a lot going on.
it's weird. And then we get into the actual backlot brawl where they're in some sort of Warner Brothers studio. They're talking about like Jerry Lawler and them. They're talking about like Forest Lawn Cemetery. You remember that?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
this match this event is in Orange County, so
Right.
well,
Like, how does he know Forest Lawn? Forest Lawn's like an hour
it's kind
away.
of specific. Like we're up here in LA, like in Burbank, there's Forest Lawn.
He's talking about a cemetery in Glendale.
Yeah, like
or is it Burbank? Yeah.
Burbank, Glendale, potato. But like, I don't really know why the WWE mentions it several times. It's there. It's in LA. It's not in Orange County. And for us LA people, Orange County is. I mean, it's why Aaron and I are not doing this in person, and we're doing it. We're doing it on a Zoom call because Aaron is in Orange County and I'm in Van Nuys. And I like the backlot brawl. It had no
Me
referee.
Too.
There was like a gold limo, some gold trash cans and catering tables, fire hoses.
A fire hose.
Yeah, it was lots. There were sound effects, right? Like when Roddy Piper would hit Goldust, like you hear like they edited it. I don't think it was done in real time, right? Like it was.
I don't think so. Yeah, the first segment of this whole fight definitely. I mean, you could tell like the way they filmed it and the way they were editing it. They definitely did it a couple of times or did some things a couple of times. I enjoyed it as well. I thought it was pretty funny.
But it was like, to me, it was better than, I think AEW. Tony Khan must love this shit because I think there have been some parking lot brawls that have been in AEW since its inception, and excuse me, I think that
they definitely
this is better than
maybe take
but this was like better than that. I feel like AEW
the AEW ones, like it's like you can feel that it sort of is still a match, whereas this just felt like a fight.
This was and I feel like they took advantage of the fact that it didn't need to be in front of people and live. Like they did a little stuff here and there, and the AEW ones maybe have like some sort of ref. I don't know, maybe or maybe not.
Yeah, I think they do. I mean, the Piper got Goldust pretty good with a couple of punches. They looked real to me. Like they were going at it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm into it. I know this pay-per-view is like just to be honest, like people don't rate WrestleMania 12 as like one of the best WrestleManias, but like I am just like, holy shit, we have fucking Goldust and Roddy Piper in the same match. Like I like this shit a lot. Like I was texting you and I was watching and I was like, I'm stoked. I just like the star power here, but this match was kind of fun. Now, it didn't really go anywhere because this will be a thread throughout the night. Now, it culminates in some sort of car chase, and they film it kind of like a la OJ, like people driving to the freeway and like LA.
No, I think they literally used the OJ footage. I mean, I didn't look it up, but I'm pretty sure
it seemed like it. Yeah,
I'm pretty so Goldust gets back in his golden car. He hits Piper with it and drives away. And then Piper gets up and gets in a truck, which is a white Bronco, and then goes after him. So, and then we start with the next match, and that's where we get this Piper stuff interspersed. So the next match is Stone Cold Steve Austin, who is the $1 Million champion, with the $1 million man in his corner, Ted DiBiase, against Savio Vega. And so, yeah, the match is good, but like continuing with what we're talking about, Roddy is calling in from his cell phone and he's just like screaming.
Yeah.
You can hear police sirens in the background. And then they cut to what I think has to be the news footage of OJ, barreling down the freeway in the Bronco like in 1994, 2 years before this, when, 5 days after he killed Nicole and Ron Goldman. So like it was pretty fun.
Wrestling is always a little bit of a parody on what's going on in like pop culture in general. And it's always like 2 years late seems appropriate. So yeah, I don't know.
It made me laugh. I was like, are they literally using the footage? Like, this is ridiculous. Yeah.
It seemed like it because Goldust is in a gold limo speeding away, who he ran off. And then Roddy Piper is apparently in a white Bronco. And
you can't see the gold car in the footage of the white Bronco on the freeway. It's just the white Bronco with 4 police cars behind it.
Okay, so this is the supposed like popcorn match. Steve Austin has the $1 million belt. He's with Ted DiBiase, and he's going against Savio Vega. And this is like the match that they kind of ignore what's going on in the ring, and they just talk about Piper. Like we said, he calls in and all that stuff. But it's like, how great is that we have the boring popcorn match is fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like, to me, that I was just fucking like floored. Like, I think it's just wild in hindsight seeing Austin kind of like, if it was
not really over yet.
Like if it was today, it would be like almost like an NXT guy coming up to fight like Savio, And I don't know about the match. Like, there's a ref bump and a belt shot, and Austin wins, and that's it's a 2.5-star match according to Dave Meltzer from the Wrestling Observer newsletter. But I was just like into this. I was like, all right, if the fuck off, like we're just talking about the thread match is Stone Cold, like I'm game for this shit,
We'll be back after a quick break.
And this episode has been brought to you by Weber for Law, your tag team partner when life body slams you out of nowhere. If you've been injured in an accident, motorcycle, car, dog bite, slip and fall, or even if you've been hit in the head with a flying steel chair, these are the guys to call. They've got knockout reviews on Google, a killer track record, and they always fight for the win. I can testify to that personally. Weber for Law took care of me, and they will take care of you too. Don't wait. Visit weberforlaw.com. That's WEBER, the number 4, law.com. Or call 818-502-9200. That's 818-502-9200. Weber for Law, your tag team partner when life body slams you out of nowhere.
Yeah, I thought it was another good one, honestly. It like you said, it's clear that they don't really they don't think it's super important for you to pay attention because they're talking about something else the entire time. But it's a pretty good match. It doesn't have the best ending. It's very stereotypical heel stuff with the ref bump and the $1 million championship belt, being used as a weapon. But yeah, it's like you said, it's cool to see Stone Cold when he is Stone Cold and he's not the ringmaster and he's not Stunning Steve, but he's not really Stone Cold yet, because if I'm not mistaken, the King of the Ring, where he says Austin 3:16 says I just whipped your ass, is a few months from now.
Right, it takes a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's coming. And the WrestleMania after this is the one where he wrestles Bret Hart, and that's really where Stone Cold pops off. So
I mean, dude goes straight to the top really, really quick, and he leaves really, really quick. And he's still Stone Cold is still someone that your sister-in-law or your cousin or whatever, if you like pro wrestling, blah blah blah, they don't know much about what's going on. They know Hulk Hogan, they know Stone Cold Steve Austin, they know The Rock. I mean, like it's just a special time. I feel like they don't know Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels necessarily. The person that's like watching from afar, or just pop culture generally, but we have all of that. And then match 4 was Triple H, you know, who's obviously the head of creative now, with Sable versus Golden Era hero, the Ultimate Warrior. And the Ultimate Warrior was coming back at this time. No, I'll just be like, to be fair, this match was nothing, but like the Ultimate Warrior's comeback, people say like his comeback was weak as fuck, but like the Ultimate Warrior doesn't do a lot in the ring. He's just very exciting on his way to the ring. Yeah, his shaking.
Yeah, he's all aura
of the rope. Exactly, aura. He's shaking the ropes. He's excited. I mean, he's a flying forearm and a muscly guy and a weird promo. But like, to me, thinking about like 1989, which is probably when he was on top, tippity top. It's exciting to see like the Ultimate Warrior versus Triple H. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm excited. This is a squash match, but like, but I was excited to see Triple H versus Ultimate Warrior, and I don't know what can you say about this match? Really, right? It's just an insane overlap.
It's just a minute and a half squash. I mean, Triple H is Hunter Hearst Helmsley. He's not even being called Triple H yet. Sable. From the way commentary was talking about Sable, it kind of made me feel like this was one of her first appearances. You know, when she came out with him, they're like, "Oh, who's that woman?"
Yeah, maybe I prefaced that wrong. I don't know where Sable really fits in. Maybe she's not too golden era. She's just new generation.
Well, I mean, she again. I think this is very early on. She's going to become a staple for sure. She's more of an Attitude Era staple, I think, than anything else. But yeah, like you said, Warriors music hits, and he comes out and he's running to the ring, and he gets a huge reaction because he's been gone for a really long time. So Triple H, it was kind of a fun little setup, you know. Triple H hit the pedigree really early in the match, but Warrior just like gets up from it, and then, you know, immediately
Warrior doesn't sell for shit. Yeah.
No, yeah, he gets up immediately, gets some clotheslines, gets his shoulder tackle, gets the press slam, gets the big splash, and then he wins.
And Helmsley gets Helmsley. Who calls him that? Triple H gets his he gets a little bit of like projection towards another story, because afterwards he finds a way to, you know, beat down Mark Marrow, who I think wanders around with Sable in the future, right? So there's a setup.
So you're right. After this match, we see we're introduced to Wild Man Mark Marrow, which is a gimmick that doesn't last very long. He's a new superstar, and Triple H interrupts him, and they start fighting, and, you know, they're showing Mark Marrow going crazy because he's a wild man. That was what that was about.
Right. And then for the 5th match, we get The Undertaker with Paul Bearer, as he should be with, versus Kevin Nash. Now, this is two big men fighting, and to me, this is a dull match. Like, this is kind of a come down. I think I love Kevin Nash and story and things that he's done, but I don't remember him doing any like amazing matches. And I feel like The Undertaker works better with someone who's fighting from underneath, not someone who's fucking taller than him. So I don't know.
I disagree. I actually like this one. I mean, I didn't really remember it much. I kind of felt like this was one of the better Diesel / Kevin Nash matches I've ever seen.
I feel like Diesel matches for me were like,
they were always kind of forgettable, right?
Well, they were like the best when it was like against like Shawn Michaels, his former employer. But like, I don't know. I'm glad that you liked it though. That's cool. Taker's in purple and black. He's fun to come out. Like, it's cool to see Diesel. I don't know. I guess the big man versus big man. Maybe I was excited before this, but let me hear about like what you liked. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I guess I just felt like it sort of had an aura to it. Like, you could tell that people were invested in it from the beginning.
For sure.
At least in the first few minutes, the story they were trying to tell was that like Diesel's really hard to take off his feet, even for somebody like the Undertaker. And I think Undertaker gets him off his feet like right at the beginning, but then for maybe like 5, 6, 7 minutes, it doesn't really ever happen again. and Undertaker is the one fighting from underneath, which, like you said, you don't really see very often. So that's kind of why I was interested in it, because like he really was a vulnerable babyface. Diesel was in control of the match for a really good chunk of time in the middle.
Maybe I just don't like seeing Undertaker as not the big man. I want to see Undertaker as the monster, I guess. But I like your take on it. It wasn't bad. I watched it again today for the second time, and I was like,
it had a bear hug in it, which is like one of my least favorite maneuvers.
Yeah, that's boo. But
it just never really looks convincing. Like even the I watched Hulk and Andre from WrestleMania 3 like a month or two ago, and there's like a 3-minute long bear hug in that too. And like, it always takes me out of it. So anyway, Diesel hits 2 jackknife power bombs on Undertaker, which was pretty impressive and something that you certainly wouldn't have seen very much after this. Diesel's kind of flaunting and getting heat and taking his time, and then Undertaker finally starts to get his real comeback going. He gets a choke slam, he gets the tombstone, and he wins. But I don't know. I mean, it was like one of the longer matches. I liked it. I did. Yeah, it was just like, I thought about it and I was like, man, I don't really remember a lot of Diesel matches. And I kind of feel like I'll remember this one because it was just something a little different. He was pretty aggressive, and it wasn't just like, I guess I think a lot about him as Kevin Nash in WCW, and when he's doing NWO stuff, it's kind of whatever.
That's fair, and I would take this over anything I've seen him do as NWO off the top of my head. That one clocked in a 2 3/4 rating from Dave Meltzer, and then we get into the second match continued. Obviously, it was. Yes. We're back to Piper and Goldust. We've got.
They've made it to the arena.
Have they made it to the arena at this point? Yes, they did. Still no ref. Aaron? Did you have problems watching this with tape glitches and static, where it's like,
yes.
And I was like, man, how is WrestleMania 12 not have a better copy? Like this is.
It was weird.
Right? Like, and it happened for a while. It's like very jolting because the volume is like,
it's so much loud. The static sound is so much louder.
Yeah, like picture the volume of like the regular volume of the show is at like a 5. The static hits up at like a 9. So it's like it's got that like 40% push.
I thought it was just me. That sucks that it's just on the fucking.
No, I was like, this fucking sucks. And I watched this like on one TV and then on my phone, and then later I was watching in a different room, and it was like, and I'm like, holy fuck, I got to turn this whole thing down. Yeah, but I still love the Piper Goldust thing. Like, Goldust gets weird and sexual and uncomfortable. I mean, I don't know.
And then he gets disrobed. Yeah, this took a turn I wasn't expecting.
He fucking kisses Roddy Piper at one point. Like does like a fucking tongue kiss. And then he gets disrobed, like you said, like, and they take off his shirt and he's like holding his breasts as if he's a woman. And he's got like a corset on.
He's wearing women's lingerie.
And then he's wearing a thong. He's got like he's wearing a full,
like a nighttime outfit.
Yeah, sexy little outfit. It's so weird. And
and then he runs away.
Yeah, and Piper, like earlier in the promos and stuff, I was like, beat down this fruitcake and all this stuff, which is kind of homophobic, but like
it definitely is.
Of the times, but like it's kind of. I mean, you're like, okay, Piper, if you really want to get into it, you fucking walking around in a skirt all these years, like now we're homophobic, like cool, whatever. But Piper grabs Goldust's like junk and knees him, and Vince is like, meanwhile, obviously, like we've mentioned, he's wearing this fucking lingerie, and Vince is like, oh, I've never seen anything like this in my life. Like Vince, not knowing what we know now, I'm sure you have, but Goldust retreats, and Piper, I guess, wins.
Celebrates.
I mean, they ring the bell, but like there is no ref, so enjoy the whole thing. I know it's stupid, but like it's stupid like I like wrestling. You know, it's the kind of stupid I'm down with, you know. Down with the sickness. And I know we're not that far into the show, but because the next match is an Iron Man match, we are already to the main event.
Yes, we are. Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart, a 60-minute Iron Man match for the WWF Championship. Had a great hype video. I think that was Michael Cole doing the narration. Short interviews from both wrestlers. And then we get the famous Shawn Michaels entrance where he flies down from the top of the arena and
in a zip line, yeah.
On a zip line, yes. And Bret Hart comes out, gets like a lukewarm reception. Definitely feels like there's a split crowd.
Yeah, it is quiet for Bret.
Yeah, in a way that like you wouldn't have heard it sound like that even a couple years prior to this. So super interesting.
Where does we saw Bret? I mean, Bret obviously would be. This is close. 97, he left, right? And
yeah,
so we're close to that. And he did leave as a heel, but he would still operate as a babyface when in Canada. And I think this is a babyface versus babyface match at this point, which is
it's supposed to be,
which is interesting.
It kind of doesn't end up feeling that way, and we'll get into it. But yeah, this is like, I mean, he obviously had been champion previously, I think more than once, and will be champion again after this too. So he's always in the title picture. It just feels like they're really pushing Shawn and his boyhood dream, you know.
I think Vince McMahon was introducing this entire pay-per-view as kind of like Shawn Michaels' boyhood dream to be champion. Shawn Michaels, correct me if I'm wrong, has never been champion at this point yet, right?
World champion, correct,
champion. Yeah. So and Vince in the opening was like, one man will walk out champion, the other will live a life of loneliness. Yeah, like he'll be forgotten. It's like so like definitive. And
yeah,
but Shawn Michaels has Jose Lothario in his corner, who I never really thought about it as Shawn Michaels as a luchador, but he was trained by a luchador, and it kind of makes sense how it's sort of a lighter, a beefcake, but a lighter beefcake. He did some of the Lothario.
I think it's Lothario. Yeah, I don't know.
Moves and stuff, but Lothario's old at this point, kind of in the corner, and Lothario.
I liked the way that Earl Hebner laid out the rules. You know, that was kind of cool. Not something that
he did, but I was like, "Are you guys learning anything?" Because this is like, if you get pinned, we count 1, 2, 3. If you are outside of the ring, we will count 1 to 10.
To 10.
You know, it's like, okay. You have any questions? Like, well, you think Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels don't know like the basic rules of wrestling? But Lothario, I mean,
he's laying it out for everyone.
When Shawn Michaels came out, first of all, they hit the "I'm just your boy, toy, sexy boy," whatever music. Lothario comes out instead of Shawn Michaels, and then he gets in the ring, and they're like, is Shawn Michaels like bailing? Like Jerry Lawler's like, Shawn Michaels is chickening out or whatever, and then Lothario points to the sky, and that's where fucking Shawn comes out of this off the zip line, like out of the sky, which is fucking like, I don't know. I'm not saying chills, but it is pretty cool. And then when he lands,
it's iconic.
It's iconic. And then when he lands, Jerry Lawler, which I don't know if people knew who the Click was, which is obviously like kind of a backstage thing with the wrestlers, but Jerry Lawler's like, he just landed in his Click. So they like kind of threw to that in the entrance, which I thought was kind of cool.
So this is, I think, about 2 months from the curtain call.
Yeah.
When, you know, that famous moment where Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon, Diesel, and Hunter Hearst Helmsley all hug each other after the end of a house show and break kayfabe forever.
Right. Which was, they were the Click. And I don't know. I don't know that wasn't just a backstage thing at that point. So it's kind of interesting to hear it sort of like alluded to on commentary.
Yeah, it was something that I didn't remember hearing before. So I was also surprised by it. Like, oh, I'm surprised that they're mentioning this.
Dude, when Bret Hart came out, like it was kind of like disappointing because there wasn't really a pop like I remembered in that era. But like I loved Bret Hart as a kid. But like the pink spotlights, like when I went to the Heart Attack tour in the 90s, my first wrestling experience in St. Louis, the Kiel Auditorium. I just remember everything. All the spotlights were pink, and like the dark rooms with the pink spotlights. It was just so cool. And it was like, Bret Hart wasn't even there. It was Owen and Yokozuna and all that stuff. But like, I just love to see Bret coming out in the pink, and he hands off his glasses, but he doesn't do it to just a kid in the crowd like he did as like a solidified babyface. He does it to his own kid, so that can keep him, kind of a tweener here or whatever. But when we get into the match, after the rules are announced and stuff, which did make it like big fight feel, I'll give you that, with the rules being announced and stuff. We have 60 fucking minutes, y'all. And like most wrestling matches are, 1 to 20 minutes. 20 minutes 17 minutes is a fine main event. So Ironman matches is something very, it takes endurance. But I've seen Ironman matches better than this since, but I think that they were influenced by this. And you're going to naturally get rest holds. And some people that shit on this match are like, well, it was like an hour of rest holds and then excitement. But like, and it was a lot of wrestling holds, but it felt to me, everything before this was like sizzle that I like. But this was like real steak, and this was like real wrestling, and this was showing two of the best wrestlers, that like sport wrestlers, like actual athletic, believable, authentic looking shit happening.
Yes,
to me, it was good. I liked.
Yeah, that's exactly, you just said it. I mean, you can tell very early on in this match that it's going to be really good because everything they're doing feels real.
It does. Yeah, and it's
like there's an authenticity, and Shawn is matching Bret on a technical level, which like they're using as part of the story. Like, oh, Bret's a little surprised that Shawn is able to hang with him in this way.
Right. It starts slow with like holds and takedowns, and you can see like how you would pace it, how they're pacing, because like who wouldn't? But to me, it's in a good way, and it really only takes like 10 minutes before there are like bursts of like energy, like
yeah, it like there's submissions for like the first 5-6 minutes. Bret kind of controls the pace, and it's like you said, they've got a long way to go. So I can understand why people are like, there's so many submissions and rest holds and stuff. But you have to be smart. You have 60 fucking minutes to wrestle,
right.
Like So when Shawn finally gets control of an armbar, then they start to have a bit more back and forth, but really like for a while, they're trading who's in control of the match, using a lot of submissions, like you said. And then, Bret starts to get some boos, like after maybe 10, 15 minutes. There is a spot where they're outside and Bret like gets thrown into the timekeeper, and then Shawn's going to super kick Bret, but Bret gets out of the way and the timekeeper just gets fucking wrecked.
I did like the timekeeper going down. It's like, it's not a ref bump. It's just fucking funny. Like you don't see that.
He just got destroyed and didn't move either. They fucking stretchered him.
Yeah, and that was, I think that by then that was like kind of when the match, like that was like 10 minutes in. That was like something we got to like get some excitement. But did you hear that Jerry Lawler, because Stu, Bret's father, the wrestling trainer, Stu Hart, was there, and Helen wasn't next to him. And Jerry Lawler asked Vince, like, is Helen around? And Vince is like, I assume she is. And he's like, I heard she went to the antique store and they kept her. And I just thought, I thought that was a good Jerry Lawler quip, because Bret's parents were like fucking 1,000 years old in the 90s. I don't know how they had them when they were fucking 75, but. Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that. That was probably Jerry's best line from the whole thing.
Yeah. Bret, I want to say Bret got busted open at some point in this match, and I think it was legit from Shawn's boot, because it seemed like Shawn kicked him, and it looked like he looked at Shawn like, what the fuck? And his lip was all like torn up, not like a blade job. It looked like he was like Shawn like pissed him off, like fucking rubbed his boot.
Yeah. So they historically were not the best of friends. They didn't get along, but they worked really well in the ring together. And there are some moments in the match where you kind of wonder now, knowing that they didn't like each other, like, ooh, was that a stiff shot? You know, was that kick too hard?
It seems like it sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, and there certainly was a point where the match itself like takes a turn and gets more violent anyway. You know, Shawn starts using the post and attacks Brett's shoulder. Pile driver from Brett to Shawn, and Shawn kicks out. That was an interesting moment, like maybe 20 minutes in.
Right.
Because, you know, pile drivers back then, like that was pretty much it. So I was surprised by that. And that was actually another moment where the crowd was kind of booing.
Yeah.
And things really started to pick up for me around the 30-minute mark. They all start taking bigger risks. Like that's when Shawn does a jump from the top rope to the outside. And
that wasn't the back body drop over the top turnbuckle, right?
No, that comes that's in a few minutes after that. So the crowd, you know, is like, this is the thing why I think this match is so good is like, I don't think that they had a super solid plan of everything that was going to happen. They had like a sketch, right? Like, okay, I'll be in control for a few minutes, then we'll do a couple of things, then you'll be in control. So like the fact that they were able to pace this match out as well as they did and take the crowd along for a ride, I think is really impressive because, you know, it's not easy to like create ebbs and flows in something like this. Like they do it so effortlessly, and, you know, 30 minutes, it starts picking up. 40 minutes, it's just like they're really going. Brett's really beaten down on Michael's back, and they know when to bring the crowd down to get them quiet, and then they do something exciting and they get a reaction. Like everything seems like it's working for them in the moment.
I feel like the thing that's working against them is that American wrestling crowds at this point in history, they just know like Hulkamania and stuff. Like they don't really know like the New Japan or AEW, like they don't have the benefit of like years of like, this is the legit match and we're gonna like do the sport based entertainment stuff. And it was cool, but I don't think that they want just like all the flashiness, and they got it as best as they could. But like I think a crowd today would be a little bit more like reactive than this.
I think you're absolutely right. And of course, when you think about Iron Man matches, it's probably hard. And it was hard for me to not think about MJF against Bryan Danielson, because
which is one of my favorite matches of all time, by the way. But
it is probably one of mine as well, because they're like, I looked up, you know, big Iron Man matches across the big companies. There's not very many. There were a lot of house show, like 30-minute matches. There were some house show 60 minutes, but the two biggest Iron Man matches were MJF against Bryan Danielson and this one. So like,
when I say I've seen better Iron Man matches, I just mean my favorite match probably of all time is MJF Bryan Danielson, and it was heavily influenced on this, but it had the benefit of looking at this match and being like, how are we going to do this? And the people watching it already knew this match, and we already knew to appreciate it for what it was. And that one had a heel, had a scumbag MJF, and you know, so it was different. You know, it had one guy was willing to like play as dirty as he could and ref bumps and stuff. This one like had a ref bump at 30 minutes, but like the fucking ref still counted. You know, it's like, it wasn't, you know, so it was great. And I think it was influential, but, by the time we get later in this match, Shawn is like fighting from underneath and he's just kicking out of fucking everything. And Brett is just giving it to this motherfucker, you know, and you're just like, okay, well, Shawn's kicking out of everything. I guess there's going to be a comeback, you know, it's wrestling, but I don't really know what to expect. I watched so much wrestling. I don't remember everything. I'm not like an encyclopedia. Like, I actually was watching this not remembering who won.
Nice. That's the best way to watch it.
So I don't know. We're like, Shawn's kicking out of everything. We got 20 minutes left. There's still no falls. And there's a timer ticking down. And you're like, holy shit. Like, And they're and in the commentary, Vince and King are talking about how whoever wins the first fall, like psychologically, the entire time they're talking about psychologically is probably going to win this thing. You got a ref bump, obviously the timekeeper bump that we mentioned. Jose Lothario gets accidentally knocked down multiple times by his own like protege, and Sean, and Brett hits a superplex when these guys are exhausted with 6 minutes left. Still nothing, a sharpshooter. No fucking tap. Like it's just crazy. You're like, these guys can't put each other away. Like, good thing they didn't do a fucking, time limit match. Is there anything else to get to before we get to like where it culminates?
So I guess the only other thing I would mention is, like you said, Brett just can't put Sean away. And with about 3 minutes left is Sean's like real babyface fire up. He starts doing all of his moves. He even does a few that I don't really remember him doing often. Yeah. He does a moonsault into a pin, just gets two. Sean keeps trying, and time keeps winding down. And then eventually he tries something off the top rope, but Brett reverses it into the sharpshooter. There's less than a minute left. The crowd's at a fever pitch where everyone's like, oh shit, he's going to tap out. But the clock is winding down. The crowd starts to count down as we get to the final 10 seconds, and Sean does not give up. So time runs out. Brett assumes that he wins because it was a draw. There were no falls. He gets his belt. He's walking down the ramp, and then
well, to be fair, even if he didn't think he won,
it was a draw, so he retains.
In a draw, you can't. Yeah, you retain. Yeah. Like you can not win in a draw, but like the belt is all that matters, and everything else that you're about to talk about is fucking bullshit.
It was, yeah. So he's walking back, and we hear from Howard Finkel that he's been informed that this match must have a winner, and they're going to go into sudden death.
Ooh.
Next fall determines who the champion is, and Gorilla Monsoon is the one who's talking to the ref. But then on commentary, they say that Piper, as the interim president, somehow had a hand in this decision to restart the match.
This is like, I guess Gorilla Monsoon is now the president somehow or whatever, but like this is so heelish. Like, okay, two guys go honest wrestling one-on-one for 60 fucking minutes, 3 times the length of a long match, and the champion isn't decided within that match. Like, you cannot fuck with these guys. Like, they are exhausted. Like, I couldn't sit there and just walk around that ring for 60 minutes. A normal person, the shit that these guys have done is fucking nuts. And I'm so mad. Right now I have sympathy for fucking Brett. Like, now Brett is my babyface because he has fucking survived this shit, and he's put everything on Sean, and he is the champion. He is a real bona fide motherfucking champion. I'm so mad. And
you can even see him say as he's in the fucking entrance, like, why? Like, when they're like, it must be restarted. He's like, why?
Because I think Brett is really good at like I think Brett obviously has an attitude and like really believes his own hype, which is fair because I think most of us from that era believe his hype as well. But I think Brett wouldn't fucking, I don't think Brett would fucking lay down for this shit unless you made it look as bullshit as Brett thought it was to give it to fucking Sean. But like, as soon as this happened, I was like, okay, now there is no way Brett is going to be walking out with this belt because Brett has a huge out that he fucking held this fucking title.
He didn't get pinned. Yeah, he didn't know. There was no fall against him. So yeah, Brett is obviously mad about it. He beats up Sean some more as the match gets restarted, and Sean finally hits him with a super kick the first time the entire night, but it wasn't at full strength. And then he hits another one. He gets the pin and he wins. The boyhood dream has come true. And I guess when I watched this as a kid the first time, I really enjoyed it. I think I was more of a Shawn Michaels fan than I was a Bret Hart fan as a kid. But now, having watched it several times throughout my life, I know that Sean's going to win, and I don't really love, I wish there was a little bit more of a build up to the match. Like it was like a minute and a half.
Right.
You know, like if you're going to restart the match, at least give me like 5 minutes or something to get back into it, because it just ends and then Sean wins. And I like Sean, but I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. Just kind of let me down.
It was a little anticlimactic, and it just, to me, I don't know, just reading, I'm a slow reader, but like reading that Bret Hart book still all these months later and stuff, I just feel like I don't know, I just feel like Bret had some influence on the creative here. Like if we're going to make me lose to Sean, it's going to be so fucking dumb. It's going to be such a ripoff. And that's what he got. I think Bret walked away looking good out of this, but I'm not taking anything away from this match. Like I had so much fun watching up until this, and then this was a change in tone, like a hard change in tone to like, you know, athletic competition, less flashiness, more like holy shit, like we're going at it.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a great time with it, but it was a little anticlimactic. So here at Grapple City Rewind, we have a 3-tier rating system. Fast forward, play, or rewind. Fast forward, meaning the shit sucks. Play, meaning it was all right. And rewind, meaning it was of the top tier pay-per-views that we have watched. This pay-per-view was Aaron's call, and Aaron, following our tradition here at GCR, you're going first on telling us how you feel about WrestleMania 12. Is it fast forward? Is it play? Or is it rewind? I am actually on the edge of my seat waiting to find out.
Okay, well, I think this one is a rewind. It's a solid show the whole way through. And, you know, is it the greatest in-ring stuff you'll ever see? No, it's not. But, like, it's fun. It's entertaining. It's got a lot of well-known names. It's got an excited crowd. I think that the main event is, I mean, it is in the top 20 WrestleMania matches of all time, without a doubt. Maybe even top 10, depending on who you ask. So it's a rewind for me.
All right. So I couldn't agree more. I think while this WrestleMania is maybe not voted amongst fans as one of the top like 5 or 6 WrestleManias, to me, it was peak crossover era of stars. New generation, attitude era, beginnings, big man matches. Okay, I guess the big man match I said was weak, but like it wasn't that weak. It was just my least favorite match of the night. Like, I guess what I'm saying is my least favorite things about this were still fucking awesome. It was like the fucking Undertaker and Diesel. The Iron Man match was influential. The sudden death restart was questionable, but like, you know, it made me feel something. My sympathy leaning towards Bret, which is always fun because Bret is the fucking best. And Sean is the fucking best also. So all-time spectacle with the HBK entrance. I love the nonsense. Bullshit in wrestling can get so stupid, but like Goldust Piper was my favorite kind of stupid. This one is a rewind 100%. Fast forward, play, or rewind. And we always love to hear from you out there, the Grapple Gang. You can always reach us by calling 626-657-SLAM.
Pick up the phone.
We will not pick up the phone, but you will pick up the phone to call us. It's a Google Voice line. You can leave us a voicemail. Tell us what you agree or disagree with about this, about our takes on WrestleMania 12, or just let us know what you think we should watch next. Talk to us anything about wrestling. You can also reach us via email, grapplecitypod@gmail.com. We are also Grapple City Pod across social media. Today, let me see. I want to do some correspondence with y'all. You know, a couple weeks ago, we were talking about Gunther and AJ Styles and all that. And then some people have been writing us about Gunther, about his WrestleMania situation, which I think was going to be him retiring or potentially retiring Rey Mysterio, which I think Rey is injured at this point, so that's not going to happen. The BDC show on TikTok told us that he's heard rumblings they're going to turn Gunther babyface. He says, like, what the fuck, which I haven't heard. I'm not sure.
I haven't heard that either, and I think that's probably a mistake. They shouldn't do that.
I agree. They probably shouldn't do that. And then God's Country Boy commented on that and said, we can't agree and don't like Gunther. We hate, but he's a heck of a wrestler and should be a Hall of Famer at the end of his career, which I agree with that. But all this like Gunther talk makes me wonder what he is going to do for WrestleMania. And I wonder, do you have any? Where do you think he's going with this? I have a quote from Dave LaGreca, what he thinks, but
I'm curious to hear what Dave thinks, but I don't know. I don't know where he's going. I mean, I think he's been off TV for a few weeks, right?
Yeah, it seems.
I don't remember seeing anything with him in it lately.
It seems weird that we're at this point, this close to Mania. We need to know what Gunther is going to do at WrestleMania. I mean,
it's probably going to be Monday Night Raw this week. I would have to imagine if he's doing something, which he's got to be. They're going to set it up real soon.
So Dave LaGreca on Busted Open says, and I quote, "Here's what I would do, and I don't have the logistics worked out. I don't know who the person would be, but I would buy myself time with Gunther. Gunther's been retiring talent left and right, correct? I would do Gunther's open challenge at WrestleMania with the stipulation whoever accepts the open challenge, if they lose, they must retire. Now, I would look for a veteran wrestler that could come in, get a pop, work 5 minutes, get beat, and now Gunther's retired somebody else. And I would get this Gunther pat this WrestleMania and hopefully get him to Brock at SummerSlam and keep him on track." Now, I agree with Dave, but who? That doesn't really say a lot. Who the fuck?
It's hard to know who.
Who are you going to retire? I guess for me, I thought Rey was kind of the sleeper. Everyone's the OVW class of 2000, whatever, Brock and Cena and all these guys. I don't know. I
just don't know. Yeah, I don't know who's there. There aren't that many people who are actually employed there who you could put in that position. I mean, Rey is one of them. Everybody else they're not ready to retire, everyone else who could be in that position, at least in my mind.
Yeah, it's weird. It's he's not in the main title spot and his deal now is he retires people, but why would Rey be yeah, I'll fight the guy that I get no belt out of, but I'll retire.
That retires everyone. Yeah,
and then it's a weird spot for Gunther. It's you can't really go for the United States Championship or the Intercontinental Champion because you're bigger than that, but you're not in the main picture. It's I guess I don't have a good answer where he goes in WrestleMania.
Yeah, he kind of cooled down. I mean, you obviously can't do something with him every week on TV because then it's going to get stale. But they had something going after he retired Cena. The stuff with AJ was working. Mm-hmm. They just needed to carry it on to someone else, and they did.
Yeah, he's in a weird spot, but I'm curious where it goes, and I think they'll figure something out. It's just
they always
I'm not
do.
the best fantasy booker, but thank you guys for your correspondence always.
So what's the next one? Since I picked this one, it's your turn to pick. What are we watching?
WrestleMania, or I'm picking the next pay-per-view, but we're still in WrestleMania season. We've been doing this for 50 shows or something. I think it's time. To just go ahead and do it.
And watch the greatest WrestleMania?
That's not necessarily the greatest WrestleMania, but I want to watch WrestleMania. The original WrestleMania. Was it 1985, I think?
Okay.
So is it 1985? Am I crazy?
I don't want to get it wrong.
I think it might be 84.
Double check.
WrestleMania.
Click, 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 click. Okay. Yes. March 31st, 1985 was WrestleMania 1. WrestleMania. Just called WrestleMania.
It's just called WrestleMania, but Wikipedia calls it WrestleMania 1. I will be listing it as WrestleMania with 2 parentheses around the year 1985 because that's more proper. We have Former heavyweight boxing champion Muhammad Ali as the referee. We've got fucking Liberace as the timekeeper. He was still alive in 1984, 5. Holy shit. Yeah, Mr. T and Hulk Hogan, of course, on the cover. They're a tag team. It wasn't them against each other. It's at Madison Square fucking Garden. We got Cyndi Lauper involved. Dude, the Fabulous Moolah, Lou Albano. I'll say it 17 different ways. I don't know. But
Captain Lou.
Captain Lou. Dude, it's the original WrestleMania. I think it was aired on MTV, if I'm not incorrect. Hold on, this says
either that or that. Let's see, closed circuit television.
Yes, but let's see. Do I have the card here? I'd like to see the card.
The card?
Yeah. Okay. Andre the Giant versus Big John Studd, Wendy Richard with Cyndi Lauper versus Leilani Kai. Hogan and T versus Orndorff and Piper. Sheik and Volkov versus the U.S. Express, which is Barry Windham and Mike Rotundo, which is Mike Rotundo IRS. Brutus the Barber Beefcake versus David Sammartino with Bruno. Junkyard Dog versus Greg Valentine. Did I say that? I don't know. Ricky Steamboat versus Matt Bourne, who would later be Doink the fucking Clown. King Kong Bundy. I love King Kong Bundy. He's so scary and creepy and weird. And versus Special Delivery Jones. Tito's Santana versus the Executioner. I don't know. I've said before on this show that WrestleMania 1, it can be slower than you think. Maybe 3 is like where it picks up, but like it's dark and it's weird and it's gritty, which are things that I like, and it's the OG, and we're in WrestleMania season, so I'm very excited to watch WrestleMania 1 over again. How long has it been, Aaron, since you've seen Mania 1?
Oh my God, so long. I think the last time I saw it was probably when I was a kid and I bought the DVD collection of like the first 20 WrestleManias.
Yeah. Dude,
and that was when I watched
it. If I remember correctly, this is not like a long pay-per-view. This is like an hour-long thing or something, but we'll see. I could be wrong.
It's probably at least 2. They always are.
Maybe the hoopla?
Yeah, there's a lot of hoopla. There's like the Rockettes and like all this stuff in between, and
yeah, I'm excited to go back to where it started, and it's the appropriate time of year to do so. So that is all the time we have today on Grapple City Rewind. We appreciate you guys checking it out. Come back and see us. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, whatever you can do. Make sure you don't miss it when we come back to you for our take on the very, very first WrestleMania from 1985.
Catch you in the cheap seats. Adios.